Over. Hey guys, well guess what? I'm out here with the Yuneec Mantis-Q. Remember I reviewed this 5 months ago? I think I was one of the first people to review this here drone. Yeah, I did like it back then. The only thing I didn't like about it was the price, and they didn't put a gimbal on it. Everything on this drone is great, except for the fact that the camera is electronic image stabilization at 1080p and lower. But at 4K, it's like you're just left to this drone's doing this. Well, everything's like that. So if you fly this drone on a non-windy day, it's not too bad. But if you fly it on a windy day, it's bad. So if you take it on vacation, make sure it's not a windy vacation, and then it'll look okay. The image quality off this is above average. It's not what I would say the greatest image quality. You're going to see it here. It's a sunny day, so it's optimum. You know, it is snow, everything's white, so the exposure might be a little wonky, but I'm going to set it to sunny and we'll see what it does. The only reason I'm flying it today is because Yuneec keeps on updating the firmware on this thing. They do a really good job. Like, they really look after this drone. So right now we're at firmware something 0.06. You can see it on the screen. I just went to power this up at home and I noticed there was another firmware update for it. I haven't really flown it too much. So this is me coming out and for myself, for the fun of it, just seeing if there's anything new. Now, before I go fly it, I should also mention that a lot of people compare this to like the Yuneec Breeze, which is like a more like a toy drone compared to the Mantis-Q. When they made the Mantis-Q, they were sort of trying to make a semi-pro drone, but they goofed up with this here non-gimbal camera. But this thing's not a Yuneec Breeze. Yuneec Breeze is very slow, and it's more like a selfie drone, whereas this thing here is extremely fast. It flies like the pro drones and has a lot of the pro features for that flight and battery time and everything else. 33 minutes is what this came out with for battery life. I never got 33 minutes. You know, you'll get 25 minutes or 28 minutes on a good day. But yeah, we're going to test it out now. So let's go check it out. All right, here we go. Opening it up. Got the nice little foldable props. Kind of hard to do with the gloves. Missing one glove here, just admit. But it's a good looking drone. It's a good looking drone all around. Yeah. And I've got a micro SD card in it so I can record the video. Oh, before I fly, I should also mention that Yuneec really praises this drone for indoor flight, and it's true. It's a very good indoor flight drone because it has the optical flow on the bottom and the ultrasonic positioning sensors, so it can really stay stable, and you'll see it out here. There we go. So the sensors on the bottom should be working, and as it's sitting there, it's getting the GPS. What's it say? No, it says I have 18 satellites now, so that's pretty good. So it should stay pretty stable. That's the 4K image from this drone. There is zero stabilization. So as it moves there's not a lot of wind. You can see it as I'm looking at it. That's what you get out of 4K. So for a lot of people, this would be fine, but it's not, you know, it's not like a drone with a 2-axis or 3-axis gimbal. And let me just take it up. There you go. Let me bring the camera down a little bit. You see how it's bouncing around? Notice how the snow is just this sheet of, here, I'll bring the camera up so you can see where it's going. The snow is like a sheet of ice. There is like ice all over the place. Am I about to hit that light? Let's get up over that. So that is 4K non-stabilized. How does that look? You know, like I say, for a lot of people, that would be perfectly fine for them. But for people that are used to 2-axis gimbals or 3-axis gimbals, that would probably not too fine. All right, let's bring the drone back. Look at the ground. It is just like lit up. It's so shiny. Here, let me look down at that a bit. That is like really, that's just the ice all over the snow here. I'll bring it down. And if you look close, look what I'm bringing the drone down. Look what's right behind it. It's the moon right there. I'll zoom in. Can you see it? The drone and the moon right there. There's the Mantis going through the moon. All right, let me bring this down to me. I'm going to go and change the video mode. Okay, this is 1080p 30 frames per second, and it should be stabilized. It's the same as before. The drone is sitting right there. I'm not doing anything to it, but I bet you the video looks a million times better. Like, it looks really stabilized as I walk up to it stuff. So that's their electronic image stabilization, which they've worked on and improved. So it's a bit better, but if it was windy, it wouldn't be too good. So let me do the same flight. I'm going to take it away up and we'll fly out and you tell me if it looks way better. There I am flying by that light again, heading towards it. I'm going forward. It's not sport mode. but that's the image. There's like little bumps happening I see on my screen. I don't know why. It's like the drone is like bouncing around, but the image stabilization, maybe it's just the image stabilization. How is that though? Does it look better? You see, there's still movement, but I'm just going to turn to the side now. Well, actually, I'll turn this way because the sun's on that side. So, see how I move? It's not as smooth as like a drone with a nice gimbal. And coming back. Now, the best thing on this drone that I've always loved is the sport mode. But the sport mode, you have to do this. So I'm going to take the camera. I'm going to put it up, look at the sun. There's my sun. I'm going to flick this to sport. And then when I go forward, the whole drone is going to tilt like this, and that camera that's looking up is going to look straight ahead. So here we go. Sport mode, back to me. It's going to come very fast. It's going to fly right overhead. I hear it, and there it is. Still in sport mode here, so look at that thing go. All right. It's like those sci-fi movies when you're like sitting here going, over there, no, over there, over there. And it's like, no, that way, there it is. No. And they're like chasing you. It is so friggin' fast in sport mode. Now they do have one more camera setting. I'm gonna stop the camera. In my opinion, this one is not very good, but you tell me. How's the camera quality? This is 60 frames per second with electronic image stabilization. It's like a lower graded 1080p 30 frames per second. That's what I find anyways. I don't find it that great, but here, I'll fly it around nice and slow. And you tell me how the image looks. This is electronic image stabilization. I'm gonna fly by that tree right there. Fly nice and close to it. Go around this way. Pick up some speed. It's gonna come right at my head. Over. So how is that? Here we go. Let's bring it this way. Get it so the sun's behind it. It's coming back at me. So that's 60 frames per second. Myself personally, I've seen it before and I never liked it. Maybe they fixed it in this latest in the latest firmware updates and it's become better, but who knows. All right, let me just change that back. I'm gonna take this out in the field because a lot of people ask me on Yuneec drones, why is it that they always set a height limit? So I've got it going out in the snow there. You can see it just whipping through the snow. I'll take it up. Now you cannot fly this thing super high. They follow the FAA standards and they leave you at, I think you can only go up to like, what is it, 400 feet or something? Let's see. Looking on my screen here, I've got it in meters, but it will tell me. It doesn't matter if I set this at like 500 meters for height or whatever, it's gonna stop. So right now I'm at 60 meters. Still going up. 80 meters. And it should stop. I think it's gonna stop at 120. A lot of people always ask, what's the height you can get out of these? I'm not one to fly high. Like I've got it way out in the field, so it's safe. Okay, I lied. It's going up. I'll see if I can get up to 150 meters. Yeah, it's at 150, so it can probably go higher. It does have a few other modes like follow me and stuff. All right, so this is the follow me mode. You can see it's much smoother than those toy drones I review because it's like a little bit more of a pro drone. It never had a backwards. It never flew backwards for me before. But did they fix that? Ah, there we go. So it does fly backwards now. Before I could never get it to go backwards, and now it does, which is pretty good. Before it would always stop and lose me, but there, it's following me backwards, which is nice. All right, let's hop out of that. There we go. It's pretty smooth. It looks smooth on my screen. It's going around. That's probably a good size radius. All right, let's hop out of that. I have pause. Okay, I'm just going to check the return to home. So drone's over there. I'm waving at it, and I'm just going to hit the return to home. I want to see how accurate, see if they've adjusted that. So there we go. It should be in return to home mode. Oh yeah, and I forgot, this drone is hilarious. It was facing me, but it turns around and flies backwards to return to home. So return to home is that landing pad right there. Let's see what it does when it's up there. Oh, I see what it's doing. Look at that. It literally turned itself to be in the exact same direction it was when it took off, with the nose facing forward and the back facing this way. So it's done that, and it's coming back down. Well, there's the landing pad and there's the drone. Pretty close. If you lose your drone, you go out of the app. As soon as you go out, you're going to get the screen that says look for drone and app feedback. So I'm going to hit look for drone, and oh, that's pretty cool. So it shows me the last known location transmitted by your drone. You can literally go down right to exact location of where your drone is. All right, so that was my super quick test of the Mantis-Q, 5 months later. And all in all, it's still a good drone, just that this camera. Now you saw the quality of the camera and images on this video. I haven't seen them yet, but I just know from experience that if you have a 2-axis gimbal or a 3-axis gimbal, the camera quality is just going to look better because it's stabilization. Without stabilization, and you're using electronic stabilization, it can be good in some situations, but not in all situations. Right now, as I mentioned, there's just a little bit of wind, so it probably performed pretty good. If it was super windy, not so good. So keep that in mind. So right now, I see this online for $449. The price should probably go down again to $399 at some point. $399, I say exactly, that's a good price for what this is worth. $449 is close. If they throw in some extra batteries, then it's a good price. $499, way too high. The price is much too high. Yuneec did say they were going to come out with, in 2019, with a newer model with a 2-axis or 3-axis gimbal. I haven't seen any news on that, so if you're watching this video and it is out on the market, well, it's because I haven't seen any news at this time. So all in all, check it out. If it's something for you, check it out. You've seen how it flies. It is a good drone. And all that being said, hey, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, and we'll catch you in the next one.